players that we traded for, players that we had in free agency, and then now as we go through the draft, and again, we just worked out some players. We're visiting XFL players, so we're always trying to get better, and we really believe in the building right now, the players that are here, and the staff. So we're really excited about the season.
How much of this year, Terry, feels like clean slate because you've gotten past the dead cap money from the Julio Jones trade, the dead cap money from the Matt Ryan trade? That's gone now. It's off the books. It's over. You can now focus on going forward. You spent in free agency, bolstering the defense mainly. But does it feel like you're finally at the spot where you can do your job now that, all due respect to great players from the past, but those salary cap numbers are gone and you can focus on moving forward?
Yeah, and that's all a part of it. And any job is going to have some different challenges for whatever reasons. And that was a challenge dealing with a lot of that. And new things, they say, okay, this makes sense because they've sat in these seats. You have former GMs, former coaches, former personnel directors, and so they really understand the impact that they can have structuring it the way that they did.
And I need to mention USFL also, because USFL games on NBC and Peacock.
Yes,
I probably should mention that there are 2 spring leagues now from which you can draw both player talent and non-player talent, and people get chances to really prove what they can do before they get an opportunity to do it at the highest possible level. Well, you've been doing it at the highest level now for a few years. The Falcons are one of those teams in my mind that kind of on the brink of something. And I think most people haven't figured it out yet. 7-10 each of the last 2 years, division that feels wide open, conference that has seen a lot of the great players migrate to the AFC. I just feel like you guys have something going on that has yet to be fully appreciated, and maybe you like it that way.
Yeah, it's mental.
Since then, no running backs in round 1 last year. What was it that made you comfortable with making a running back, regardless of who the running back is, any running back, a top 10 draft pick?
Well, and I think for us, you got to take the position out of it and talk about the player, because you might say, take a premium position, take a corner, take a defensive end. Okay, tell me who the corner is. Tell me who the defensive end is. That's what matters. It's who the particular player is. When you talk about a Bijan Robinson, the impact, he's an impact offensive player. He's a playmaker. You look at last year with Drake London, we're excited to take him off the board not because he was a receiver, but because of the impact we believe he's going to make, as well as we believe we're taking impact players and we're taking playmakers, home run hitters, touchdown makers, guys that can really impact our total team. So we never focus on a particular position. You think of positionless football, you just want to take good players that fit the character traits that you're looking for that are going to make you a better team.
One of the realities, I think, of running backs not being taken as high as they used to be is there are so many running backs out there. You can get them in any round. You can get them in every round. You can get them undrafted. But is part of it also the nature of the position that is so conducive to injury? Saquon Barkley started off great, got injured in 2019, got injured in 2020. Not
as opportunities as opposed to obstacles. But there were some challenges. And look, moving forward, there are going to be more challenges that we're going to deal with. Those are the challenges in those moments, but we are definitely excited about where we are at this point.
So last Thursday night, you're sitting at number 8 when round 1 begins. I assume you got at least 8 names that you're happy to take, because
yes,
it can go 7 different ways, 7 different names, 7 guys you really like, all could be gone by the time you pick. How high was Bijan Robinson on your list of names going into round 1?
Well, you're right. You do want to have 8 names. You don't sleep good if you don't have 8 names, because you know that it can go either way. And we've kind of talked about it. That was one of the more unpredictable drafts going into it, not knowing what's going to happen in front of you. I think everybody knew who they expect the number 1 pick to be. Outside of that, the next picks, we just didn't know. We loved Bijan throughout the whole process. And there were some other really good players that came off the board before him. We like those players a lot, but we love Bijan and the man he is, the person he is, the player he is, the impact he's going to make. So without saying exactly where he was in our stack, we were pumped to take him off the board at 8.
That factors into it. The idea that this position is arguably the riskiest from a health standpoint in all of football.
Yeah, and I think to your point, you have to have a clear plan of exactly what you're going to do and how you're going to utilize that particular player. And that's what's fun about, we do really like the players in our running back room, whether we're talking about Tyler or CP and all the different things that they can do. And I have a lot of confidence in our coaching staff, from our head coach, Arthur Smith, and our offensive coordinator, Dave Ragone. You go all the way down to coaching staff. We have some really smart people in the building, and we have clear visions and clear plans for everyone on our roster. And when we get excited about a player and know the impact he's going to make, obviously you factor all those things in, usage and mileage and all those things. But we have a very clear plan and clear vision of how it's going to all come together.
There's been a lot of talk about Bijan Robinson not just playing in the backfield, but spending time in the slot like he did at Texas last year.
Slot, you're going to worry about him. You better, players are going to have a bunch of catches or a bunch of yards, and there's plays where they aren't. And there's plays where how much he was more of a diversion, or he's going to be excited about that win, and vice versa. So we're excited because not only the players we have, but we do believe we have unselfish players that are all about getting the one stat that matters, that win.
After you drafted Bijan Robinson, I tweeted a list of all the names of the skill position players you guys have, and I actually forgot Cordell Patterson, and then that dawned on me, and I was like, "Oh,
he's not going to like that."
But it's unbelievable that you have that many guys. But the pushback I got was, "Yeah, but they don't have a quarterback. Yeah, but it doesn't matter if their quarterback isn't any good." I think quarterback is unproven, and I think if anything, this only makes him better by taking pressure off of him by having all these great players he can get the ball to.
Yeah, we have a lot of confidence in Desmond, and not only we know the skill set that he has, but the worker he is, the competitor he is, the natural leadership. And so we do have confidence in him, and yet also we believe it's not ever going to be about one player. It's going to be about the team. That's how we're going to win championships. It's going to always be about the team. Or about it.
Sounds like some no-huddle offense could be incorporated more heavily into the attack. I mean, you get guys out there who are versatile, who can line up everywhere. You can create some mismatches if you get the right personnel on the defensive side of the ball.
We'll see. Again, not only the different impacts the guys can make, but we believe we have a lot of smart players that we brought in, a lot of smart, high-character guys. So you can definitely be versatile with the different things we're going to do.
You're going to keep guys awake at night, though, really, when they have to figure out how to stop all these guys. And you rattled off the names, and that's what dawned on me after you picked Bijan Robinson. Holy crap, look at the skill position players this team has. But there's still only one football. How do you keep everybody happy when, at the end of the day, only one guy's getting the ball in his hands every single play?
Yeah, and it's a great question. And we always look at it like it's all about wins, right? That's the one stat that matters. It's about what are we going to do to get the win? And when you've been a part of really, so we were on the phone, and you're always weighing it out. You at least want to get on the phone, Mike, and find out, okay.
Now, after 1 year in the NFL of only playing, a limited amount at the end of the season.
Yeah, he played in 4 games, and we saw growth throughout that 4-game period. And since then, he's been working. That's what he's been doing. He's going to do everything he can possibly do to get better. And there's a part of that equation that you need. There needs to be some experience. And so as we get into the season, he's going to gain more experience. But what we believe in the person, we believe in his skill set, and we believe he's going to get the absolute most of his ability. But there's always unknown with that because, again, he's only played 4 NFL games.
Where have you as an organization challenged him to get better?
I think with every day, the way we run this program, everybody in the building, from myself to where anyone that works in the building, every player, every coach, we come in every day and we got to get better. And there's no complacency. There's no one's comfortable. Everyone is trying their best to get better. And we believe that's what he's going to do. He's going to saw improvement down the stretch, and he knows there's a lot of areas he needs to continue to improve like everyone else on the roster. But we have no doubt that he has the right mindset, that he's going to do everything he can do to reach his max ability.
Now, you got to have blockers to protect the quarterback and to create some running lanes for guys like Bijan Robinson. You traded up to get Matthew Bergeron at pick number 38 in round 2. Were you trying to get into round 1, 2 on Thursday night? Was that something? I'd heard that. Is that what was going on?
Yeah, we were on the phone. What we basically do is once we make that pick, then we look at, okay, hey, these are the players that we want. Who are the players we would trade back in to get? There's always a clump of those players. Who are the players we want at the top of 1? And we want to be aggressive. What I love about, again, our staff, it's not just our front office led by Kyle Smith, but also obviously our coaching staff and our head coach, is there's passion and conviction. And that's what you're always looking for, passion and conviction on the players that you take. The best player on the board when we were able to get on the clock was Matt Bergeron, and very excited to have him.
What are your expectations? And I know you get asked that all the time, and everybody always says to win the Super Bowl. But realistically, where the program is right now, where you've been, 7-10 last year, 7-10 the year before that, what is the next step for the Falcons?
I think to get better every single day and get the most of your team. To go out there and you want to, every game that you play, you want to have a clear plan to go out there and compete and do the best that you can and win that game. That's the mindset. To every single game that you go out there and play, you want to be able to compete and win it. From the coaching staff, practice drill, or whether it's a preseason game or whether it's a regular season game or a playoff game.